On this week's podcast, we have rising star agent, recent partner, 50 plus deals in her first year in business, Nicole Schwartz. Yeah, kid, welcome. What happened there? That was the first. I just had a fucking crazy. That has never happened before.
That's never happened.
Okay, I'm good.
I recorded this. I got.
Wow. I started thinking about something else in the middle. I was like, fuck, I got to do that. All right, ready? Yeah, kid, welcome back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer podcast. My name is Charles, aka the Handsome Homebuyer, aka Captain Permit, aka
El Judío Maravilloso.
All right, there we go. That actually had more of like an Asian accent tone to it than a Latin accent tone to it, didn't it? I guess that is true.
I liked it. I think you did a good job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We have I can't even say rising star. You are a star inside of a year on the podcast. But before we go into that, Levy,
Charles.
do you know who else is a star
Of course I do.
in the permit business? You didn't even know what I was talking about in the permit business.
I just know these things.
Who is it?
I forgot though.
Captain Permit. 516-513-8838. If you need plans, you need permits, you need anything permit related, from Elmont to Montauk, anything in between. We're talking new construction, interior alterations. What are we talking about? Commercial, whatever you need in the permit world. If the town is torturing your life, we are the savior. It is going to be a crazy, bumpy ride. I don't guarantee miracles, but all I guarantee is that we are going to hold your hand through the entire process, and we are going to brave the drama that is the townships on Long Island together, and we're going to get it already done, like my man Walter Green. Obviously, I'm the Handsome Homebuyer. If you have a house that smells like cat pee, is dated from the 1960s, 6 inches of mold on the wall, human waste floating past the basement steps, land, commercial property, apartment buildings, I don't give a shit where it is, preferably on Long Island. If it's in the boroughs, that's cool. Anywhere in the country where it makes sense, I'm quick, I'm easy, I'm a good time. I want to buy it. 516-777 sold. All right.
Wow.
That was a lot, right?
That really was.
That was a lot. So today's guest, like I said, rising star, already a star. I feel like you've been in the business forever, and I feel like I've known you forever. Yet we've only met one time, and you've only been a full-time agent for 2 years.
That's correct.
So with that said, today's guest is top 20 under 40, on track to sell 50 plus homes in the year of COVID, which is even more impressive. Recent partner at Remax Integrity, both the Melville and the Smithtown office. Rocketed to top 1% of agents. Do you know you're in the top 1%?
I actually did not.
So I did this thing where I did research on Broker Metrics. There's 28,000 agents, and 2.5% of all agents make gross $80,000 or more a year. That puts you in the top 1%.
Nice.
Mazel tov.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. The most impressive thing I remember about you was, I think, my earliest memory of you is hearing about you chartering a boat to take a client to an island to see a house, just to do a showing.
Correct.
Did you sell him that house, by the way?
I did not. It was a very interesting situation. It was on Oak Island. And he called me randomly off Zillow, like, I have to see this house. Never met the guy before. And I'm like, I have to get this kid a boat because this is going to be amazing. It's the only way to get there is on a boat. So we get over there, we take the boat over, we see the house. It's a great little house. Unfortunately, financially, it didn't work out, but we had some great content. We had a lot of fun. And I definitely have a client for life with this guy, because who else can get a boat?
Nobody.
Take you to an island.
Nobody. Who is willing to get a boat to take you to an island to do a showing if you don't even buy the house?
Exactly.
With that said, we have Nicole Schwartz.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Yes.
So, again, even though I feel like, and Levy and I were speaking about this before, I'm like, yeah, I know her forever, yet I'm thinking, have I ever met her? And we realized, yes, we met 2 years ago. And I feel like you've been in the game for a long time, but you haven't. So I'm curious to know how you originally got into real estate.
So I've been licensed for 5 years, and my mom was a realtor.
Oh, yeah? She's still a realtor?
Not really. Okay. She's licensed, but she doesn't really practice. You know, she's snowbirding and living her best life.
Good for her.
But yes, she deserves it. She worked very hard. Nice. So for many years, she was pushing me. You should get your license. You'd be great. So I did. I finally went. I took the class. I got licensed. And the day I found out that I passed the test was also the day that I was offered a full-time position. I used to work in solar.
Okay.
With a salary plus commission. And I was, 28? And I'm like terrified of this straight commission. Am I going to make it? And I have this job opportunity with benefits and salary and all this stuff. So I took that job.
The safe play.
The safe play,
Okay.
yeah. Which now that I look back, I mean, I don't regret anything, but, you know, it was a great job. So I did that. And when I say I was a part-time realtor, I mean like 0.05% realtor.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
On the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. So I worked that full-time job for 3 years. I did like maybe 2 or 3 real estate deals, friends, family, that's it. And I literally woke up one day and was like, I was helping my best friend and her fiance at the time buy a house. And I literally woke up one day and I was like, I love real estate. Why am I not doing this? And I quit my job, just like that.
It just hit you.
Yep.
I mean, wasn't that scary?
It was very scary. Really, really scary. The first 6 months, I had a panic attack at least every other day.
You're like,
and I was like, oh my God, I just gave up this big salary. Did I make a mistake? And, you know, when you first... Like when you're doing real estate, you don't really know what you're doing. Like no one's really guiding you. I went with a big name brokerage because I felt like no one knew who I was, so they should at least know who I'm working for.
Okay.
So I kind of bought into that I needed like this name behind me. And I had a decent manager over there, but no one really tells you what to do. So I would literally wake up and be like, do I have a job?
It's very, it's very, very, very difficult. I mean, real estate is awesome because I always say it could be as big as you want or as little as you want. It could be the best side hustle, or you can make tons and tons of money. But there isn't a lot of training.
No.
And that's why I love what you guys are doing at the brokerage, because I feel you guys are taking it to another level, both with the training, social media, marketing, et cetera, which we'll get to down the road a little bit. But it's so important. Like I have this big thing with most brokers. I call it broker beef, where I feel that brokers aren't doing shit for their agents. There's a very select few, like definitely less than one hand, maybe 3 fingers, where brokers are really doing the right thing.
I agree.
So it's hard. So you're working for a big name brokerage. You think they're going to take you under their wing and show you and give you leads or whatever, but they don't. So what did you do?
So they did have excellent corporate training, I will say that. And the one thing that I latched onto was social media. Okay. I followed the guy who taught over there. Can I shout him out?
Of course.
Mike Geraci.
There's no rules on the Handsome podcast.
So I followed him around social media.
Okay.
I reached out to him. What apps are you using? What are you doing? What do you think I should do? And I did everything he said, pretty much. And that worked. And I also, when I decided to quit my job and take that leap, I reached out to like 4 or 5 realtors I knew that were very successful and asked them to have coffee with me and asked them what they did. And I kind of just did whatever they said. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, I did what worked for me. I tried a few things, and what worked for me was social media. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think most important, the biggest lesson from all that is that you just have to get going. You have to do stuff. Like a lot of people think, and it's like analysis by paralysis, and they're like, I want to do this, but should I do this? I don't want to make a mistake. I think if you just start doing things, doors open for you. Even if you have a plan, you're like, you know what, I'm going to go through this door. As you start moving, you're like, you know what, this door on the right looks better. And things can change. But if you're not moving, nothing's ever going to happen.
Absolutely. And that happened to me a little bit too, where I was like, should I do this? Should I do that? And then you get a little scared, and I was a little stuck. And then, the videos, oh my God, the best advice I got, like I would do like 50 of the same video and keep watching it and critiquing myself and never posting it. And the best advice I got was do the video, post it, and never look at it again.
Absolutely.
And now they come up on my memories and I cringe. I'm like, oh, they were horrible, but they worked.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of agents, like what would you say to agents out? There's a lot of agents out there that think either A, if they haven't done a lot of deals, they're thinking, you know, what do I have to offer? What could I possibly say? Even if they've only done 3, 4, 5 deals, or they say, I hate the way I look on camera. What do you say to them?
Well, I say just do it. Whatever you're doing, just post it. Every little thing that I did, I posted. I'm on an inspection. Here's why we do it. I'm on a final walkthrough. Here's why we do it. even just saying who I am and what I'm doing and that I want to help you, even if it was just 30 seconds, not even, just put it out there. Forget what you look like. And like I just said, post it and never look at it again. Because that's what I would do. And I go, oh my God, my tooth's a little crooked. My hair was out of whack. And I would freak myself out. And I can't tell you how many clients I got, people who would call me and say, I'm working with a realtor and I've been watching your videos and
Really?
you're helping me more than my realtor.
Wow.
Will you help me buy a house? And they work.
So basically, you feel it's obviously, work ethic and what you're doing, but social media is and free social media, I might add.
Yes.
Like you're not paying someone to put a camera person. You're pulling your phone out and you're making videos and you're posting things and you're just interacting with people in the comment section.
Yep.
That, would you say, is the overwhelming majority of how you grew your business?
Yeah, I literally didn't really do anything else in the beginning but social media. And then the referrals started coming in. The business started coming in. Friends, family, referrals from people who saw me on Facebook. Like, hey, I watched your video and my friend in West Islip is thinking of selling. Can I give them your number?
That's
it was
awesome.
literally all Instagram and Facebook.
Do you feel that you being big on social media helped you even more through COVID? Because during COVID, like, we would go out, we would network, people would meet each other, but now in COVID, you can't network.
Right.
So I kind of feel like social media has become that much more valuable if you want to grow your business because everyone's on their phone.
Yep.
And then how are you going to interact with people and how are they going to see you if they can't see you in person?
Right. And I actually got a client referral, a buyer. They're in contract, going to close in a couple of weeks, from my dad's second cousin who I haven't seen in 20 years because they were watching my videos during COVID. So they contacted me.
That's awesome.
And the couple couldn't even remember who referred them to me. They were just like, someone gave us your number. They told us you're the best. You have a great personality. We want to work with you. And then I figured out who it was. And that was a COVID deal that came because I stayed present.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they never even reached out to me. The people who referred me.
How, what was your thought process? What did you do? People did different things during COVID.
Yeah.
So some people, it seems that the people that are really crushing it stayed, obviously you couldn't go out and show, we were all locked down.
Right.
But the people that kept the wheels moving, rebooted, came up with cool ideas, they just hit the ground running and they're doing really well.
Right.
Was COVID, and a lot of people have said, COVID was a super valuable thing for me. It allowed me to reboot and do all these things because usually we're going at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That it was a forced, just sit down for a minute. How did that impact your business?
Well, for the first 2 weeks of the shutdown, I cried.
No, you didn't. Did you really?
Not literally cried, but I was like, oh my God, my business is over. I've worked so hard. It was definitely scary. I'm not going to lie, because I'd be lying if I said COVID shut down and I was like, great time to work on my business. I was absolutely terrified. Okay, so that's true for probably the first 2 weeks. And then I sort of realigned and kept my presence up there. I kept in touch with all my clients, everyone who I had ever sold a home, talked to about selling a home, anything like that. I reached out to you. Okay, do you need groceries? Do you need anything?
Wow.
Especially my elderly clients who, they were really afraid to go to the supermarket. So I reached out to everyone I could.
Really nice.
I tried to be helpful. I did some posts. I actually offered to purchase groceries. I made a video about it, and someone shared it in a mom's group on Facebook. And I did that for someone I've never met.
That's really cool.
So I just stayed in touch with all my people, and I was sending out, videos through my CRM to all my clients, just positive, uplifting. We're going to get through this. It's all going to be okay. I'm here if you need anything. And
so it's interesting that you bring up CRM because I rarely hear, I've never heard a realtor say they have a CRM. So I myself am not a very organized person. I try to be. I hire people that are very organized because I know I suck at it. Talk a little bit about the CRM, what you do, and how that's ultimately helped your business.
I'm not the best at that either, but
it sounded really good.
But that is what I used during COVID because I was home and it was accessible and I was available to make it work.
Okay.
But I do try to put all my clients in a CRM. I do send out the videos through BombBomb.
Nice.
We're doing a pie event coming up in Thanksgiving. They'll all get an email through my CRM, which will invite them all to grab their pie, or we'll drop it off if they don't want to come out. So
when you started out and you started kind of, building your brand, Did you start as like a listing agent, or did you start working with buyers? Did you start in like a certain area? Like a lot of people kind of pick a town,
Right.
And they want to like take over that town and then start taking over other areas. Did you just go everywhere? What did you do?
So I didn't farm a certain area. I mean, I grew up in Dix Hills, so
Okay.
of course I went into it like thinking I'm gonna own Dix Hills. Like that was like, you know, my goal. But I didn't farm an area. My first listing was in Islandia.
Okay.
It came from the company that I left. I told them all I was leaving and going to do, and she referred me to a friend of hers that was
That's
thinking
cool.
of selling.
Nice.
Yeah, so I had a
So
listing right away.
your first deal was a listing.
It was.
Wow,
Yes,
okay.
it was. It was a listing. And, you know, I think I was very buyer heavy my first year.
Okay.
I worked with a lot of buyers.
That's common. That's
it's
expected.
very
That
common.
makes sense.
It's very common, I think. So that first listing actually got me, I got a call on Zillow from a guy who wanted to see it. I showed him. He became one of my best clients and one of my best referral people. He's like a really good friend of mine. I've gone to Brooklyn for his birthday.
That's really cool.
But that all came from a Zillow call and from that very first listing. That was a referral. So I didn't really focus on an area. I kind of focused on I want the warm leads. I want friends and family and past clients to refer me. So I go where they need me to be.
What do you think about Zillow in general? It's I don't know a ton about it, but you have agents that are like, I really like Zillow, and then you're like, Zillow's the devil. It's like you don't know.
I don't think I feel that strongly either way. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy Zillow leads. That's not for me. I don't want to. But that call came because he called on my listing. So
Yeah.
that came from Zillow. And, you know, that guy ended up buying a house with me. I think if you treat people the right way,
Yes.
it doesn't matter where they come from. They're going to stick with you.
Yes.
And then they're going to want to share you with their friends and family. So that's what it's
100%.
about to me.
100%. And that's why like people hit me up and they're like, oh, how do you get deals? How do you get deals? How do you get deals? I'm like, listen, being successful in business is really about being a good person.
Right.
If you go out and selflessly help people achieve what they want to and actually listen to them and genuinely give a shit, you'd be very surprised
Right.
at how much opportunity you get.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't matter. You're doing exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. It does take a little time, although you seem to have done it very quickly in less than 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know that's true. That's what it takes.
Yep, absolutely.
So I want to talk about. So you moved from the original brokerage, you know, and then you moved to Remax. Mm-hmm. You met Pete,
Yep.
who's the man.
Yes,
who has
he
one of
is.
the best
He's the
voice,
best broker.
one of the best voices, hands down. I always tell him, like, bro, if the real estate thing doesn't work out, 900 number business for
Yes.
you would crush it.
Absolutely.
Radio, any kind of announcer.
Right. He misses calling. You should have been an actor.
Man, I see him doing that.
Me too.
Great guy, extremely progressive, you know, really doing a lot for the agents, always looking to, you know, bring everybody to the next level. You guys are doing a ton of stuff with social media. You've grown very fast. He bought the one office, and then probably within like a year, was it 2 years where you guys opened up these other two?
I think it's been 2.5, 3
Okay.
years, yeah, since he went to Smithtown and Melville.
So let's talk a little bit about just the transition of how you ended up becoming a partner, and then, you know, the new responsibility of that, and now managing offices in addition to your business, and it's just got to be pandemonium.
It is.
You seem pretty calm though.
right now. Right now. But no, there's a lot going on, and there's only so many hours in the day. But I mean, I wouldn't give up any of it. I'm very grateful to be given the opportunity to be a partner. I actually met Peter at your event. You and Peter hosted some investing events.
Oh yeah, in the hotel in the basement.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
no shit.
So that's
Okay.
where I met him, and I had just joined this other brokerage. I had just quit my job. I had just went full time.
Wow, that's crazy.
He pitched me, and I said, "Look, I just left. I just joined this brokerage, and I don't really want to be like switching around so quick, but I'll keep you in mind." Then we did a deal together, and the way he works, I'm going to be honest, like, real estate's competitive, right? You know
course.
that. Every agent's like out, you know, we're all competing against each other in some way. There's very few people that genuinely want to help you. And I probably considered switching to his brokerage for 6 months before I actually pulled the trigger.
Wow.
And he was giving me tips after tip after tip. This is what I do. Here, do this. Sharing things with me that he does to make his business better. And I wasn't even with his brokerage yet.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's very rare. So I ended up, I've been there, it's just over a year that I'm there.
I remember doing that, and then I remember you guys coming together and working together, and then all of a sudden you were everywhere. Like it was pretty much that fast.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys started collaborating, doing different social media things, and you just were everywhere. So I'd love to know more about the, how you handling the responsibility of now helping to manage agents and cultivate agents, because when you're a partner in a brokerage, it's different. It's not, you are selling real estate, but at the same time now you're recruiting, you're trying to make these agents the best they can be. You guys got the 2 new offices, doing a renovation, doing all kinds of high-tech social media stuff, green screen, etc. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And, Peter had that in Centereach, and he's brought it to Smithtown and Melville. We want to offer the best tools to everybody. Obviously, we're both a big fan of video and social media, so that's a huge thing that we push. The way to be successful is to share yourself with the world and connect with the right people that want to work with you. So that's what we're trying to bring to the agents. I push video hard on everyone that comes in, but I also, I sit down and we have some brand new agents. So that's totally different. They don't know how to write a sales agreement. They don't know how to set up a prospect match and simple things like that. So I'm spending time with people, walking them through that, and also just teaching them what I did in the very beginning, which was very simple and didn't cost me any money, to start to get my name and my brand out there to be recognized. So that's what we're trying to bring to our agents, is it's really this simple. We want to make it as free and as easy as possible for people to get their face out there.
No, that makes sense. And how implement these things? How have you seen? I know you've seen the agent count go up. You guys are up to 55 agents now. Have you seen the productivity of them go up?
Yeah,
it's working?
Yeah. So there's this one girl. She called me when I was still at Elliman. She was a paralegal for a real estate attorney, and she had her license or just got it, and wanted to work, part-time real estate. So she called me while I was still at the other brokerage. I pitched her, tried to help her, had coffee with her, brought her to meet with my manager. She ended up going to a little mom and pop out east. She called me 10 months later. I was at Remax. We met, we had coffee, we talked. She ended up going to another brokerage. Okay. She called me 6 months later. And I'm like, how many times are we going to meet and talk? I'm happy to meet and talk, but just come work with me. Trust me. So I think in 2 years, she had sold 4 homes. She's been with us 6 months, and she's doubled that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
awesome. Amazing. And just from doing the little stuff we say.
It's really about, a lot of times it's just the environment, a little bit of encouragement. It's really, really when new agents come to me and they tell me, what do you think? I say, it is very, very vital. And there aren't that many, again, good teams out there.
Right.
It is super vital at the beginning to get on the proper team, because otherwise you're just wasting time. If you get 100%. On the right team, the sky's the limit. You'll take off. You'll do great right out of the gate. Right. It's also a lot of work. I don't think people understand how hard it is to be a real estate agent. Oh gosh, I know. I love when I get the messages that are I'm looking for a job that's flexible and I could still make a lot of money. I was thinking about getting my real estate license, and I'm like, okay, maybe think of something else, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's 12, 14, 16 hours a day answering your phone all the time. You have to be there. You got to treat your clients right. You have to be accessible. You got to be on the ball. It's a lot of work. I love it. It's 7 days a week. It's a lot. Yeah. Especially in this market. So. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. What do you? I'm curious of what you saw kind of pre-COVID in the market, and then obviously COVID just shut down, and then now what's going on right now? Well, look, pre-COVID, you probably know too, there were still bidding wars and things like that, but it was nothing like we see now. If we were going up against 2 or 3 other offers, fine. Now, every house my clients are bidding on, for the most part, there's 10, 15, 20 offers. People are going 30, 40, 50 over ask. These all cash deals, these enormous down payments of 50%, just knocking out the people that are doing 3.5 FHA or 5% down. And, yeah, it's been a struggle for some people. Some of my clients are putting out, 5, 7 offers before they're getting one accepted. Are there certain things that you're doing to try, in a super competitive market like that, are there certain things you're doing as the agent to try and give your people the upper hand? Leg up. Yeah. Yeah. So
I always try to make a relationship with the listing agent, of course. You know, I don't just send in an offer. I get offers from agents sometimes. It's literally a sales agreement. There's there's nothing attached to the email, like nothing about the buyer, about the agent, about how they work, what attorney they're using. It's literally a sales agreement. Here's my offer. I'm like, what is that? So I always contact the listing agent. I always have a conversation with them about my buyers, how qualified they are. 9 times out of 10, they're working with my team, which is, you know, my lender, Mark Morazzo at United Mortgage. He's the best.
He is the man.
He is.
He's a handsome motherfucker, that guy. And then he bought his father a car, and it's like, bro, I'm not
That
even,
was pretty
I'm
boss.
not into guys, but I'm looking at you like.
That was pretty boss. I'm not going to lie.
Man.
It really was.
Man.
But I really try to set my people up with my team. My inspector is on speed dial. I make sure the listing agent knows that. That the second I get an accepted offer, I'm having a home inspection within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes less than that.
I feel like I've seen you put up posts of like accepted offer in the morning, and your home inspector's there like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I asked Mike Titino. I called him the other day. He's like, you are literally the only agent who calls me and everything is an emergency. He's like, but I respect it. You really got your clients back. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need it today.
Yeah, no, listen, it's important.
Yeah, so we
important.
got to move. And I prep all my clients before we start house hunting, how the market is and how fast we got to go.
Yeah.
So they know if the offer is accepted, like, be ready. But anyway, back to the offers. You know, I put a really nice package together. I'm not just sending you a sales agreement. I have the sales agreement. I have my offer. I have an entire email about my buyers, about the team that we're working with. Here's
No
the
shit.
lender's phone number. Here's what I have with my inspector. They're using my attorney. You know, so it's a real package. It's not just, here we go. Can we make this work? You know, if I have to get the banker on the phone with them, I will.
No, that's very, very smart. And because of that, you get a reputation with other agents that they know. Listen, if she's bringing a deal, you know, maybe there's somebody that's 5,000 or 8,000 higher, but this is going to be smooth. Her people are going to close. There's no bullshit. She's going to have a home inspector in here in 2 hours.
Right.
And that really helps. And then also showing that on social media the way you do builds your brand as far as new clients, and it also builds your reputation with other agents, which in turn makes you convert more and makes for happier clients.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, right?
No,
Happy clients.
No, it's smart. It's very, 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 very smart.
Yeah.
You also do a lot of, you're starting to do more like unconventional type of things, even with social media, like we were talking about Mike Titino and how you guys are, you're collaborating with a lot of different people in the industry, which just helps everybody.
Yes. And I think it's really important that you have relationships with these people. Like, you really do need to build a team. Like, if you're a new agent, build a team. Find a lender that you work well with, that you trust, who's going to give you solid pre-approvals and close the deal. Find an attorney that you work with that you trust. Find a home inspector. Get your little team in place, because that's going to help you as you move through these crazy real estate times. I'm trying to bring more value to my people who are not only buying or selling a house, but like we just did, maintenance tips. That's for anybody. You're a homeowner, whatever. Maybe you're not selling or buying for the next 10 years. We're going to give you some maintenance tips to help keep your house in better shape. So I'm trying to do different things and just bring value to my audience. You know, how many people buy or sell a house, every 7 to 10 years?
7 years, they say, yeah.
So I can't just do real estate all day, every day. Some people, I want to bring value and some new things to people that they want to watch. Everyone wants to watch.
Do you do a lot of follow-up and kind of like past client maintenance, where you're reaching out to past clients, touching them on the holidays through CRM and things like that?
Yeah, so every quarter, my clients get a drop-off. Clients, friends, Sphere. So
Really?
Yeah, every quarter. Yeah.
What's a drop-off?
So like for fall, they all got a little pumpkin, a little candle with a little tag.
Really?
You know, happy, grateful, blessed to be your realtor. And
This is everybody you've ever worked with?
Everyone I ever worked with, and then I also friends, family.
Every quarter you do this?
Every quarter.
Wow. That's impressive. Do you have an assistant?
I do. I have an assistant, and I have a runner who does the drop-offs.
Okay.
So that helps.
This is within the brokerage, or this is you, like, personally your thing?
What? Does everyone do the drop-offs?
No, like, do they work for RE/MAX, or this is like you for your personal business? You started scaling to the point you're like, I need help, so you hired these people for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I hired them for me.
Wow. No, that's...
And I share with other people in the brokerage if they need.
Okay.
So,
No, I think that's super important because I think a big problem for people in every industry, but especially in this, is they start doing business, they start doing business, and then they get to the point where they feel like they're maxed out and they can't be everywhere.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I got to. Like, as soon as, really honestly, before COVID hit, I was really already there. I needed an assistant. I needed a runner. I needed like a transaction coordinator. I needed all these things. Once we reopened with COVID, it was like, oh my gosh, because you're everything when you're the realtor. You're marketing, you're sales. Sometimes you're a cleaning lady. Sometimes you're a therapist. You know, like you wear every hat. You're the salesperson. So you're the runner, you're the admin, you're literally everything. So when you get to a certain volume, you can't do it all and keep your personal touch with your clients. And that's why I think I'm so successful in referral business, is because I keep the personal relationship with my clients. But you get to a point where you can't do it all, and
it's impossible.
Hey, how are you?
So
to 80 people.
At what point can you recommend to other agents? At what point do you think it's time to bring somebody on to help you? And then what type of people or what type of positions do you recommend that you staff? And how do you go about finding the right people? Because I talk to agents all the time. They're like, I'm crazy, but I don't know what kind of person to hire.
Right.
And they're like, well, I need someone to do this, but I don't know where to find them.
Right.
And then they also say, well, I don't really have time to train them. It's like this twisted web that just keeps going.
It's a sick cycle.
Yes.
I know, because I did it too. And it's a terrible, vicious cycle that you can't get out of. So my advice on when to do it is before you think you need it, because that's what happened to me. I waited till like I really needed it, and that's my problem. I don't have time to train. I don't have this. I don't have that. So I kept like pushing it off. Honestly, the best thing I did was hire, like, I guess I would call her an administrative assistant to do all that back end paperwork that really takes so much time. Yeah. And when you're putting a couple deals in contract a week, it's a lot of paperwork. So the admin has taken off a lot of work, or a lot of pressure, I should say, on that end. She manages like all my buyers, scheduling their appointments, checking to see if the listings they want to see are available. So she does that. She makes my whole schedule.
That's awesome. Just scheduling appointments is a freaking job in itself.
Oh my God. Especially with COVID. I need the pre-approval. I need the COVID disclosure. I need this form. It's like, it's so much work to make an appointment now that you need someone. You need someone to help you. So she does all of that for me, which is awesome. So for me, that was the best decision, was to have this person in place, and then that frees up some of my time. And like the runner too. I mean, I can't drop off 80 pumpkins in the fall. So he's awesome, and he does other things for me throughout the week.
That is actually really smart. It's interesting that you do that. I had a podcast a while back with Larry Theodore. You know Larry Theodore?
I don't think so.
Larry Theodore is a legend. He's Century 21. He's been in the business probably like 40 years.
Okay.
He does like $1 million plus gross commissions a year. And Farmingdale is his area. Like he runs Farmingdale, and he does very similar. From like day one, he drops off like a fern plant, like every holiday or something, he drops something off.
Right.
And people it works. After a couple of years, he just said, my phone just rings and rings and rings.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's smart.
Yeah.
So you're very young. You have a lot of time left. A lot of
I hope so.
In the business, not in life, in business.
I hope in both.
Yes, hopefully. Where's the future taking you? Where's the next 3 years? I mean, in the last 2 years, you've gone from barely doing any deals to being top 20 under 40, being a partner in 2 brokerages. I mean, what's happening next?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I'll continue to grow the brokerage. You know, we have a goal. We'd like to get another 30 agents next year. So I'll be working pretty hard on that, building the brokerage. And I don't know if a team is in the future or not. That's something I'm toying with and thinking about now.
Okay.
So
I like it.
We'll see if we go there. I'm not sure.
All right. Why? What's keeping you from doing the team or not doing the team? Because I think you would be great.
Thank you. I feel like now that I have my assistant, there's like a little less pressure. I'm like, okay, I could still kind of manage this. Okay. But to be honest, I mean, my first year I did 25 deals. This year I've doubled that. And
wow.
Yeah, and I'm sure next year I'll want to double it again, and I probably will need a few team members, some
Yeah.
buyer's agents. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, it just comes down to you can't be everywhere
Exactly.
all the time.
Right.
But you really need, like, it's really important for people to understand you have to invest in your business. Sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take 2 steps forward.
Right.
Because if you don't, you'll just be running like a crazy person all the time, and you won't be able to do as much business as you will if you have help. So I appreciate you coming. You were
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank
Very
you.
cool
Thank
to
you for
chop it up.
having me.
If people are interested in Remax, if
Yes.
they're interested in working with you guys in any capacity, whether that's selling a home, buying a home, or being an agent with you guys, how do they get in touch with you? How do they check out your social media? How do they
Call
live?
me, text me, 631-923-7800. Instagram, Nicole_LI Realtor.
Very cool. And obviously,
Thank you.
if you have a house that smells like cat pee, it's dated from the 1960s, 6 inches of mold, I want to buy it, 51677 sold. And if you have any kind of permit problem across Long Island, regardless of the township, regardless of the situation, the captain's got your back. Know before you go. 516-513-8838. That's a wrap.